We are thrilled this week to be celebrating and recognizing the leadership of Callie Hawkins, the CEO and Executive Director of President Lincoln's Cottage. We are here in the Cottage, where I get to hear a little bit about her story, her leadership, and hopefully inspire you as you continue in your quest for model leadership. Just to start off, what are some of the key moments in your leadership that led you to the position you're in today as Executive Director?
What originally attracted me to working at the Cottage was Lincoln himself. Lincoln was certainly not perfect, but at this particular moment in time was the leader maybe that the country needed. For the first 14 years that I was at the Cottage, I was the director of programming. And then when the position came open, I felt called, in a sense, to really pursue a new role at the Cottage and think about serving the organization and serving the public in a slightly different way.
Now, am I correct in remembering that these are original?
Yep, this is
All right,
original.
so Lincoln touched these handrails. Can you talk a little bit more about your approach to leading?
It's super important to me to create an inclusive culture at President Lincoln's Cottage, but first and foremost, to really get to know them as people. I had that opportunity here at the Cottage after my son died in 2018. I recognized that in order for me to thrive at work, I was going to have to be able to integrate my love for him, his death, into all aspects of my life, work included. It was also a way that I deeply connected to the Lincolns and who they were uniquely at the Cottage. Willie's death really shook them to their core, and it's one of the things that led them out here. One of the first thoughts I had after my son died was, if society does to me what it did to Mary Lincoln, I'll never survive this. I was able, as a result, to create an exhibit here at the Cottage that connects the Lincolns' grief and their reflections on their love for Willie with modern families who have experienced child loss.
Thank you for sharing. What was it like to build that exhibit?
It was a gift. It was a gift to my son who died. I also hope that it's been a gift to the bereaved people who have found themselves here at a moment of deep sorrow. It was vital to my survival and to my ability to find meaning and joy after such a traumatic loss.
I'm feeling, I guess, grateful that you chose to do that. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you.
And grateful that you chose to turn something that impossibly difficult to comprehend into a gift.
So this is my favorite spot in the Cottage. The reason I love this room is because of Lincoln's unique view from here. He could look in that direction through those windows and have a view of the Capitol Dome, that as a symbol of his hope for America. But if he shifted his glance in this direction, he would have looked out on the country's first national cemetery, which really was a symbol of reality. The effects of Lincoln's decisions that he was making every day here at the Cottage and at the White House were literally being buried in his front yard. We'll go next into what we call the Emancipation Room.
Presumably where Lincoln worked on the Emancipation Proclamation.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about why it's so important that leaders today have a sense of history in this room?
I think if you really take a look at the challenges that we're facing today, so many of them have roots in the 19th century, roots in enslavement, roots in the Civil War. And I think it's really important for leaders today to look back at the way leaders in the past handled these challenges as they cropped up. Look at things that work, look at things that absolutely didn't work, and really use that as a model to face our current challenges. I'll take you outside, we'll walk around to the veranda.
Callie, this has been such an amazing opportunity. Thank you so much. We're going to finish up with a little bit of a lightning round, if you're game.
Yep.
And I'm actually going to start with a few fun facts on my end.
Okay.
So one, I am Abraham Lincoln's third cousin 7 times removed.
Oh my gosh.
2, my oldest child is named Abraham. 3, I've got my Abraham Lincoln socks on right now.
Great.
So
you've proven yourself.
There we go, yes. And I go to the Lincoln Memorial every birthday at sunrise to reflect on where I am and where I'm going.
What a special place.
It is a special place. I now want to see if you can meet me with another fun fact of Lincoln's, maybe one that I don't know.
Fun fact about Lincoln, I mean, he loved his wife. That's a fun fact
Yeah.
that I think a lot of people today kind of call into question,
Yes.
that I'd like to see more people give a little more thought to. He loved animals. I think that's really fun because I think any good leader should have a pet or two.
I love it. So you're going to have the opportunity to go to dinner with a historical figure. It cannot be Lincoln. Who do you want to go to dinner with?
Absolutely Mary Lincoln. Bereaved mother to bereaved mother. I just would love to give her a hug. I'd love to share some of my own experience and hear more about hers, and maybe give her a little bit of the empathy and compassion that she deserves.
What's a book that you recommend a leader reads?
I recommend anyone read the book Bittersweet by Susan Cain. It was such a transformative experience to me to read that book because she talks about taking your deepest sorrow and making it your creative offering.
What's a favorite Abraham Lincoln quote?
The struggle for today is not altogether for today, it's for a vast future also. I think it reminds us of the unfinished work that Lincoln talked about, and sort of the never-ending work required for democracy.
Close us out, just giving us the pitch for the Cottage.
The Cottage really is a place that nurtured the Lincoln family's grief. It nurtured their broken hearts in a way that it continues to do for people today, and also a place from which he was able to lead the country at one of its most divisive and challenging points. I think the thing that I'm proudest of about the work that we do here at the Cottage is to really connect past and present, not in surface ways, but in very deep ways that encourage people to act on their own brave ideas for social justice, to find a bit of their own humanity here. And in many ways, Lincoln is a mirror for the rest of us. And I'm just deeply proud of the work that our team is engaged in every day to create these experiences that are really meaningful to people.